Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to germinate in rockwool indoors. I have about 600 cubes I'm going to plant in this video for my indoor farm. So what are the benefits of using rockwool? Well, number one, rockwool has great water retention, which is important for any medium you're going to be growing plants in. Number two, rockwool is porous, which means that it's permeable and plant roots have an easy time burrowing in as they grow. Rockwool is made by melting basalt rock and chalk together at like 3,000 degrees and then spinning these fibers out of it. And once it's dried, it's essentially inert, it's sterile. And that means it does minimize risk for certain pathogens and diseases which can affect seedlings. Let's start by covering everything you need and probably already have if you're going to germinate in rockwool. First, and of course, you need your rockwool cubes. You're going to need seeds. I'm going to plant 4 different types of lettuce and 3 different herbs. And I also use something called vermiculite, which is a natural substance that's been exfoliated, and you basically take a scoop and you put it on each hole, and this helps create an environment that has good retention of moisture but also good aeration, which is best for the seeds to germinate. Okay, step 1, pre-soak your rockwool. I've heard some say online you can soak it for like 20 or 30 minutes, but my advice is to submerge it completely for at least an hour. I've had issues where seeds will germinate, but the rockwool is still a little too hard for those roots to permeate it, and it'll end up drying out and dying. My advice, soak it for a while. All right, step 2, let's plant our seeds. Now, how many seeds per hole you use depends on what you're growing. At least for tower garden, we have to think about how much space is available as well as the competition with other plants. So there's a recommended amount. For spinach, as an example, the recommended seed amount is 6. For lettuce, however, it's only 1. So in the description, I have a link to a free PDF that I made that'll show you a bunch of things that you can grow and how many seeds per hole to use. So now what I'm going to do is plant and label all my trays with the right amount of seeds per hole. 5-second time lapse. Let's go. All right, so I'm putting on the vermiculite now. I'm not putting a giant scoop that just completely buries them, but I'm not putting so little that they're not covered. I'm just finding a happy medium so that they are encapsulated and can wiggle around as they germinate and find their way down. All right, now it's time to put them under the light and give them a good water. And we're going to continue to water once to twice a day until they're ready to transplant. Hey, I meant to tell you that you can now put on humidity domes if you want. By using a humidity dome, you're going to, in theory, germinate faster. Just remember that at the first sign of germination, you are supposed to take them off. All right, we're on day 3, and I'm seeing my first signs of germination. All right, so now that they have germinated, we have the seedlings coming in. It's time to switch to a nutrient water. And notice how I'm putting the water really close to the seedlings. They're still sensitive. You don't want to just bombard them with heavy pressure. It could upset their rooting. Some of your seedlings are probably going to get all stringy and not penetrate well and just kind of stick up. What I do for something like this is I'll just kind of push the root down some more, make sure that the leaf is on top, and then you can just take some more vermiculite and just bury it a little bit better. See, like right here we have another. What I do is I just kind of push that in a little bit more and grab some vermiculite. I'm just going to bury that. Bury those roots a little bit more. Oh, see another, and again we're just going to bury those roots a little bit more. All right, it has been a few weeks for the rockwool cubes. I want to pull some out, show you the results. So this was the tray of pomegranate crunch, and it has done so well. I'm really happy with the even germination across it. I've had like maybe 10 growing cycles in this farm, and this is just one of the best results that I've got. I'm getting better at doing all the things that we've done. We've soaked them thoroughly, We put the recommended amount of seeds per hole. We covered it with vermiculite and a humidity dome. So you mix all these things together and increase your chances of getting a better result. Now this is the butter crunch. I want to use this as an example. You see how the cubes are turning green? This is algae and completely normal. The same thing would happen if you were growing outside. Okay, that said, this is one of my trays of spinach. Look at how not good this tray is doing. I have 3 trays. This one is the worst. The others are not too bad. And so let's talk about why that could be. And when you think about everything we're doing, getting it wet, needing good humidity, we're using the dome, but you also need to have a balance against other things, like you need good air circulation. Some of them have formed like a little coating of mold around them, just the seeds. And so I think that's a sign that I did not have good air circulation over this. It was too wet and too hot. Notice the difference between those seeds and that seed? That seed has formed that little coating. Looks like maybe the one all the way to the left is starting here. Maybe not good air circulation. When you're growing indoors, there's always going to be different variables like that. You know, to me, in my mind, I burp them the same. Why aren't these doing as good? But maybe something about this Rockwool sheet just held the water a little bit better, you know, or maybe the humidity dome just sits a little bit tighter around this particular tray. Like there could be a variety of factors that lead to this. And it's our goal growing indoors to try and be as consistent as possible, right? To notice those things, to pick up on them, and to grow in a way that keeps them in mind. Overall, as you practice and hone your skills, I think you'll find, as I have, that Rockwool is awesome. It works very well, whether you're preparing for spring or you grow in aeroponic or hydroponic setups. Rockwool is a viable option that's pretty easy to use and gives great results. Thanks so much for watching. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm actually about to shoot another video right now about how I use overhead lights instead of the tower garden attachments. If you want to check that out, please do. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.